This is seriously one of the best little country pubs I've been to. In a town you've probably never heard of, Captain's Flat.
Wow, it's not flat. Thought it'd be flat. It's not. Who's the captain?
Once a thriving mining town, it's been struggling for decades. But thanks to Sharan Witt, who kind of accidentally bought the pub over a phone call, the town is coming back to life.
A long, complicated story.
Okay, well, the short version.
It's not that long, I have to tell it. I'm a storyteller from way back and I'll be telling you the story. Deal with it?
Cut.
Well, we'll come back to it. With no experience but a lot of determination, Sharan flung the doors open to the community.
It is a famous grand old pub. As you can see, it's huge. And its claim to fame? It had the longest bar in the Southern Hemisphere at over 32 metres. And according to a local legend, apparently it was even longer until a disgruntled regular came in with an axe and hacked 10 metres of the bloody thing off.
Sam Booker, mate, knocks that ass right over a low-flying blowfly, mate.
More on the pub in a bit, but let's meet one of the true blue locals. This is Harry. Harry was born and bred in Captain's Flat, left school really early and actually learned to read and write at the bar when he was just 14.
The day before he turned 18, and it was gonna be a big thing, the copper who he's been drinking with for 4 years said, Harry, how old are you?
I said, I'll be 18 tomorrow after.
18 tomorrow. He said, well, you better leave the pub then.
Better leave the pub.
You better go.
The pub is also famous for a legendary trick that defies gravity itself. Harry is an expert and knows the secret.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard of the ghost of the Captain's Flat Hotel? What they say is if the ghost is in the pub, okay, what it'll do, the beer will stick in the corner. If the beer sticks on the wall, the ghost is in the house. So anyone that's staying in the house, good luck to you tonight, and we'll see what happens. I'm not sure whether she's here, but she could be. Okay, and it only happens if the ghost is in the pub. Okay, and she only comes in when it's cold. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. I hope you go to church on Sunday. But you have a look at the marks around the wall in every corner. Those marks that are put there, have a look in every corner all the way around. Yep. Okay, you'll see the lines. They're from the mining days, they're not from us.
Right.
You tend to bloody yell out, ghost in the house, sort of thing. You hear noises upstairs, that.
I'm staying here tonight.
Well, I tell you what, you down this end or you staying on the front or where?
Front.
What, this end or that end?
I'm not going to tell you the number.
Well, I tell you what, mate, you'll hear it. Lay awake tonight and see what happens.
I hope not.
What you do, you just pack up your bags and get out of the place real quick. You've got to be here at the Captain's Flat Hotel. This lady that's got it now, she is so passionate about the town. She was born and bred here.
Yep.
And the only way you can make a country hotel work is if you can understand the people and have a country background, okay? It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to Captain's Flat, is Sharan.
Middle child that's the cause of all this. She said to one of her cadet friends, I'm going to buy that pub one day. And they went, why would you want to do that? She goes, can't you just imagine it? And my mum was ballsy out. Fast forward 13 years, she rang me, she said, Mum, the Captain's Flat pub's for sale. I said, what are you going to do? She said, I'm going to try and buy it.
Wow. She was proper serious.
So serious. I was planning on moving in with them over in Yass and just getting an everyday job. And she goes, Mum, why don't you buy the pub? Because you can vendor finance. Then you'll have somewhere to live. I said, look, I'll give Tracy a ring. I rang Tracy. By the time I hung up, I bought a pub.
No.
Pretty much. The rest is history. Now we are running a pub.
Yep.
At the moment, I'm working 7 days a week, about 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
And it's been really hard. And It's been fun and it's been challenging. None of my staff had ever worked at a bar before.
Blind leading the blind.
The blind leading the blind. So we all learnt together.
Do you feel like you're now partly responsible for reviving the town?
Yes.
In a little bit?
Yeah. And I know that sounds a little conceited, but yeah, no. It was my dream. It was Caitlin's dream. And to see it happening makes me really proud. Yeah.
And it's beautiful. Like, you don't want this pub not to be open.
No, and
See you later.
see ya.
See you, boss. Take it easy.
Thanks, no worries.
You've done it. How important and significant is that for the town?
I'm gonna cry.
Oh my shit. I just think I think it's very important. I think it's a beautiful town, and they call it the town that never dies. And I think it needs to come back to life. It's the heartbeat was going down, and it needs to come back on. And I feel that that's what we need to do.
And that'll be yours and Caitlin's legacy.
I think so, yeah, and my family, because this will be our family's home eventually, and I think my dad is so proud. My dad can't believe I live in the captain's flat home. It's got to work. It's got to work. It's got to work.
It's a beautiful pub. I knew it was going to be good, but it is beautiful.
What do you call someone from Captain's Flat? Do you call them flatheads? Do you call them captains? What do you call someone from Captain's Flat? Oh, here we are. Is local locals and the local dog. Does anyone know the name of the dog?
That's a great question.
Oi! Hello, mate.
The pub is open again, and some well-known families from the area are returning to celebrate and to reminisce.
And the first beer I bought here was only 17 cents.
No way. What was it?
Reese's.
I'm here with Wayne Masters. Wayne, tell us about your story here. You're from here.
Yeah, born and bred here. I lived here for 22 years. 18 when I first came into the pub.
Tell us a little bit about the history. This place is built on the back of a mine.
Well, the mine started back in the 1860s, I think.
Yeah, right.
The government in Canberra got a bright idea of putting a lake in the middle of Canberra.
Right.
So they had to close the mine down for fear of polluting the lake with the slag heaps.
Right. So Lake Curly Gherkin is the reason why this town sort of lost its main employment.
Because in the 1930s, the slag let go and it down along Foxlow Flats. So there was fearful of that happening again.
When did the mine close down? It must have been
62.
a massive kick in the guts for the town. What happened to the town after the mine closed down?
A lot of people to Queanbeyan, to Canberra, and then to other mines down the coast.
Yep.
I was probably 62. I was only 13, I think.
What was it like growing up this town in Captain's Flat?
We'd start drinking here on a Saturday. We play pool, we play darts,
Yeah.
we play snooker. Then we'd go home and have tea, a bath or something, and then head into Canberra for the rest of the night.
That's a nice place to start off and then go and carry on.
And then how we got home was
Anyone's
sometimes wonder, yeah.
Tell us a story about Captain's Flat, why it's called Captain's Flat, if you know it.
Oh, well, the old story is that there's a bull from Foxlow, and it used to hover around the oval.
Yep.
His name was Captain, and it was always on the oval.
Right. There was a bull called the Captain,
Yeah.
and they called it Captain's Flat. Because when I came in, that was the confusing thing, because it's not very flat. It's
Just the little, that sports oval.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's the flat bit.
That's the flat bit.
Yep.
And
Makes
yeah,
sense. Now tell us why you're here today. You've 4 generations here. Tell us a little bit about your family and what's happening today.
Well, I've got a brother-in-law and a sister here that were married in '63 and had their reception in the bar here.
No.
Yeah. This is the sister that got married and had the reception in the bar.
Are you happy to have a very quick chat? Yeah. Great. Jump in.
Well, I'm Marie Dumbrell
Yep.
from Captain's Flat.
Nice to meet you, Marie.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm Tim.
Hello, Tim. Red here until the mine closed.
Yep.
And a lot of people moved away and everything. But this is where I met my husband. And this is where, when we got married,
Yep.
we came back and we had a wedding reception in what we call the Long Bar. Old-fashioned wedding reception nearly 61 years ago.
61 years, and so you're back here today. It must bring back a lot of memories.
A lot of memories, yeah. And when I was a little girl at school, I used to come down here before school, set all the tables up for the people that were having breakfast with my next door neighbour.
Oh, that was your job?
I just used to do it before school to help. I suppose I made a bit of money, I can't remember.
That's such a nice thing to do, though. What a lovely memory.
That's another memory, yeah, lots of memories.
So you're out here for a family sort of catch up.
Yep.
But you've got this paper. Tell us, this is something that must take you back to growing up in Captain's Flat.
It does. It's Mick Jagger doing Ned Kelly film out in the Captain's Flat Road. He blew his hand off with one of the shells and he had to go and get an operator. They took him to Queensland, but he didn't like that. So they took him to Canberra and got the best surgeon, whatever, where exactly was filmed. We had a bus trip out there in 1969.
Yep.
And they took all of us out. There was 20 on the bus, but we all had 2 heads back in those days. So
40 on the bus.
40 on the bus. It was very exciting. They had the artificial smoke back in those days. Larrington's dressed up as policemen.
Did everyone know how famous he was?
Oh, I think they did. Back in those days, you used to play some rock and roll music.
Rolling Stones, man.
Yeah, the good music.
Yes.
Not the crap they play nowadays.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, how good, mate. What great memories.
Yes. But it was a good life out here until everything closed up.
Every great country pub has got a really good beer garden, and this place has an absolute cracking beer garden, as you can see. Big, beautiful. We're in the middle of winter and it's an absolutely beautiful day here at the Captain's Flat Hotel. Just about to sit down and have something to eat, but this is awesome. Oh, bloody beautiful. How good is this place now? I mean, if you've been here for 3 years, what can you tell us about the pub? Because it's had a pretty rocky, tumultuous sort of last 4 years.
It was shut when I moved here. Heard heaps of stories, heard all the stories about the floating schooners and the longest bar in the Southern Hemisphere, you know. But having the pub open just really brings a bit of vibrance to the town.
Best thing about Captain's Flat, since you've been here, what do you reckon it is?
Oh, for me, it's the trails.
So is this area famous for attracting bike riders, or what is it about here?
So Talaganda State Forest and the Cotter are the main 2 places to ride that are legal to ride in the State Forest. We did about 56 Ks a day.
Mate, life is good.
Yeah, life is good, no doubt.
You come out here, you go for a ride together, and you've got somewhere to come for lunch and a couple of beers.
100%, yeah. It's so good, like coming here, seeing you guys filming, seeing all the people here. Since they've upgraded the road, the pub's open, it's the place to be, you know?
Cheers, man, appreciate
Good on
it.
you, brother.
Thank you, that was cool. That was great.
Take the shit out.
No chance. We rolling? All right, well, I've been challenged to see if the ghost is in the house and if I can make the beer levitate, so... Well, it's good. It means there's no ghost. I'm staying here tonight, so that's a relief.
There's some larrikin moments in here, I can tell you, some of the things.
Yeah?
That I've seen over the years, bloody hell. And there were some legends in here. My greatest thing I've ever done here in this pub was let it go in here. I was only about 18. All the boys were in town just having a few beers. And they're all old fellas drinking sevens, Yep. Anyway, they're sitting up along the bar. I open the door and I let this go in and go. He's 100 mile an hour, mate. And the legs going everywhere. He's up the bar, he's along the bar, he's down the bar. And there's people in beers and shit going everywhere.
And that's when someone said, listen, we better get this bloke out of town. He wants to join the Navy. You didn't want to go to the Navy. They wanted you to go to the Navy.
True story, he did join the Navy, also pretending to be the Australian Prime Minister when he was in Hawaii. But that is another story. Back to Sharan and the pub.
It was built to cater for the miners. Very much a man's pub. It has... Captain's Flat Hotel, Sharan speaking. Jason Brown, 4 people, what time, mate? No worries, I'll put a table aside for you. Okay, Jason Brown.
Jason Brown for 4 tonight.
6:15. Oh my God. So my idea of how it would have worked back in the day, 3,000 miners in the town, it would just would have been 5 deep at the bar constantly being served. And everything's original. Nothing's been changed. It's still got the flight up on the office window. Everything's original. I just love it. But you can imagine that the women were only allowed into the lounge. That's the only, and then if they were staying here, they were escorted upstairs. There's some beautiful saloon upstairs, lounge room area, and that was their little room upstairs. They most certainly would never have stepped into the bar.
It's just, it does take you back in time.
Yeah, it's just all original. It's just everything's, like So I love it. But I do intend on opening a coffee shop. And the ladies are going to get the small bar. It's got the music room at the back. It'll make it a really nice little coffee shop. There's a lot of young families in the town that have moved here recently. Dad's gone off to work, mum's dropped the kids off at preschool, and then they're in Captain's Flat.
Yeah.
That's it. What do you do?
Yeah.
So if I can offer just even a little bit of a service of somewhere to go for a natter and a coffee and a piece of cake, then I'd love that. So, because I just think it's the heart of the town. Let's bring it back. Let's open her up again.
Hearing about the history and how it's opened again, I just had to come and be a part of it. All the customers are lovely as well, the staff. Really good country town.
How's the boss?
She's amazing. One of the best bosses I've ever actually had.
You've got to say that. She's just over there.
Even if she wasn't though, hopefully we can help her build this place up again.
I was living in Sydney, just got too hectic, too busy. Wasn't spending any time with the family. We found a place and moved out here.
And life's pretty different now.
Mate, it's killer. It's killer. It's all community focused, you got kids playing in the streets. And so I moved out here and
haven't looked back.
No.
The town that refuses to die.
It's
coming back.
Blood oath. Like, to be honest with you, I'm really excited to see Captain's Flat grow.
Yeah.
And be revived to its glory days. I think it has the potential to do that as well. And so, when the pub opened, it was at the spring of hope, That's half the reason why I'm working here.
Yeah.
Because I want to get involved and I want to help that change maker.
Yeah.
You can be the one to incite that community and whatnot. So I think it's something we've lost, especially in the bigger cities in Canberra and whatnot. I think we need to get that back. That's Australian. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. What's it like working here?
It's good. I love it, It's good. It's good as a second job. You get paid to pour beers and have a chat.
And the new boss, she's doing it for the right reason.
100%. It's all about the locals. It's locals focused, which is what we need. What you were saying before, it's the heart of the town. It's where everyone comes and has a good time. And
so you feel home.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Gonna stay here.
Hell yeah.
Cheers, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All these country blokes are trying to break my hand. Fucking Jack.
Can you do a big clap?
You're famous. Your clap is going to be on YouTube.
Your YouTube
in about
debut, Billy. We're a young family of 5. Yeah, so my husband, born and bred Captain's Flat. It's been the best place to raise the kids. Great having the pub back open.
It's so good.
We all went into hibernation when it was closed.
Like I said, I've been here for 50 years and you're never a local. Okay, if you're a local, you're here when the mine was going. You're here in the boom days. They're the true locals, the people that made this place. We will never ever be a local.
Because you didn't see it?
Because we came in after it. They made what we've got today. To me, they're my heroes. There's not many locals left. From the mine days and stuff.
Why does it mean so much to you, this place, this pub?
It's the heart and soul of Captain's Flat. If you haven't got a really good pub in the town, and everyone seems to congregate at the pub, regardless of whether you drink beer or a strawberry milkshake. We haven't got much here, but what we've got one of the greatest pubs out. Okay, not just for the alcohol, but for the food and to meet the people.
Yep.
Okay, and it's just a lovely meeting place.
I agree.
I'm not going to say anything more, okay?
I'll bet you $1 trillion that's not true. I'll bet the pub that you could not be stopped.